Shut up! No, let me go! Let me go! No, no! No, no! 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 No, no, no! No! Mom! Dad! Dad! Dad, wake up! Mom, wake up! Wake up! Marcus, what is it, Marcus? Mom, Dad, just had this crazy dream. In my dream, all of my friends were teasing me. They kept telling me I was stupid and I was ugly. And we were all standing in front of this mirror. And they could see themselves, Dad, but I couldn't see me. I couldn't see me, Dad. They kept calling me stupid and ugly. I couldn't see me, Dad. Calm down, Marcus. Calm down. It's just a dream, son. Just a dream. You see, Marcus, all of the Saturday school sessions we take you to, son, all of the programs, we do that so that your mind will be filled with understanding your great potential, son. But you have to take it on board. You have to listen. All right? Listen. I want you to take this book and this music, and I want you to read it and listen to this music. And start tonight, all right? And later on this week, we'll have a conversation about your dream. We love you, Marcus. Now let me pray for you. Father God, let this boy get some sleep. Do not wake us up again, please. Amen. Go to sleep. Thanks, Dad. Marcus, Bobby, an Africanist, leader, activist. Wow, 1 million people. Kwame Nkrumah. Wow, president of Ghana, black president. Jomo Kenyatta, Kenya, black president. Wow. Larry Constantine, cricketer. Wow, amazing. Okay. So we're playing as well. We're playing as well. Wow. That was right. That was right.
So I understand.
I belong at the top and not the underhand. My ancestors were great, I got no other plans than to follow their paths. I am an African child of the motherland, destined so I understand. I belong on the top and not the underhand. My ancestors were great, I got no other plans than to follow their paths. I'm a child of a great place. My bloodline's got a great faith. So it's time that mine take shape in the form of those who went before me, blazing history's pages with legacies of glory. Marcus Garvey, the Jamaican orator, led millions through racist streets and corridors, determined for equality, keys to any door. Economic empowerment so blacks are never poor. He's one of many. Let's look at several more. Let's rewind, go back in time a bit further, and take a look at him, Hotep and Anthony Burner, an architect and engineer, and a physician, a philosopher as well, with poetic intuition. Knowledge beyond restrictions of others' measurement, applying a brilliant mind to various elements. Speech refined, life defined by black intelligence. A child of the motherland, destined so I understand. I belong with the top and not the underhand. My ancestors were great, I got no other plans than to follow their past. I am an African child of the motherland, destined so I understand. I belong at the top and not the underhand. My ancestors are great, I got no other plans than to follow their past. I'm a child of the Most High, so when I walk I keep my nose high, cause wherever I am he's close by. He chose I like he chose Peter Tosh, Dr. King Jr. and Dr. Alan Goff, a microbiologist who have less likely lost and proven vaccinations for polio and measles. And there's others who move mountains being peaceful. Paul Stevenson led the Bristol boycott, so Omnibus Company discrimination stopped. And there's others, Samuel Coleridge Taylor, an African composer who was quite major in the 20th century as Hiawatha's wedding feast, and Britain rivaled Handel's Messiah piece. And there's other feats great Africans accomplished. Cubano and Adriano took steps to abolish slavery, writing biographies greatly acknowledged. I'm a child, destined so I understand. I belong at the top and not the underhand. My ancestors are great, I got no other plans than to follow their past. I am an African child of the motherland, destined so I understand. I belong at the top and not the underhand. My ancestors are great, I got no other plans than to follow their paths. I am an African. Chose God like he chose Peter Tosh, Dr. King Jr. and Dr. Alan Goff, microbiologists who help less likely lost and proven vaccinations for polio and measles. And there's others who move mountains being peaceful. Paul Stevenson led the Bristol boycott, so Omnibus Company discrimination stopped. And there's others, Samuel Coleridge Taylor, an African composer who was quite major in the 20th century as Hiawatha's wedding feast, and Britain rivaled Handel's Messiah piece. And there's other feats great Africans accomplished. Cubano and Adriano took steps to abolish slavery, writing biographies greatly acknowledged. I'm a child, motherland destined so I understand. I belong at the top and not the underhand. My ancestors are great, I got no other plans than to follow their past. I am an African child of the motherland, destined so I understand. I belong at the top and not the underhand. My ancestors are great, I got no other plans than to follow their past. So whether I'm in Peckham, Poland, or Portugal, I'm an African from a line of great oracles who speaks of documented and historical, who started great and overcame what was horrible. So if you in Togo, Texas, or Taiwan, African blood must stick from Chad to Saigon. Dr. John Roberts QC said it best, whatever's in the bone will come out of the flesh. I'm a child of the motherland, destined so I understand. I belong at the top and not the underhand. My ancestors are great, I got no other plans than to follow their paths. I am an African. We as Africans are scholars, always have been scholars. Architects, engineers, doctors, lawyers, musicians, and writers. We are capable of fear. I'm a child of the motherland, destined so I understand. I belong at the top and not the underhand. My ancestors are great, I got no other plans than to follow their past. I am an African. Destined so I understand. I belong at the top and not the underhand. My ancestors are great, I got no other plans than to follow their past. I am an African. Good morning, Marcus. You seem a bit happier this morning. Why is that? Well, Mom, I had another dream last night, and yeah, let me tell Marcus, hold on. I know you do a lot of dreaming, but this morning, son, it's time for school. All right? We'll talk about your dreams when you get back from school. Okay? All right, Mom. Cool. Good morning, class. Good morning, Ms. Peters. How's everybody doing this morning? Very well. Well, class, this morning we have a very exciting topic. We're going to be talking about Black history. Yay! And so our topic today is focusing on the very first Black president. Is that exciting, guys? Yes. Excellent. So today we're going to be talking about the one and only Barack Hussein Obama. The very first Black president. Is that exciting? Excuse me, Miss Peters. Have you ever heard of Kwame Nkrumah? Yeah, he was the first Black president of Ghana, elected in like 1960. So technically, Barack Obama is not the first Black president. And have you ever heard of Jomo Kenyatta? Yeah, he was elected in the 1960s as well as the first president of Kenya after their independence. So it wasn't really Barack Obama. Well, hold on, Marcus. I'm not familiar with those people. But today we're focusing on Barack Obama. And Barack Obama is such, but Ms. Peters, sorry. My parents are not from America. My mom is from Kenya and my dad is from Ghana. And it seems like every time we talk about Black history, we always talk about Black Americans. Sports people, celebrities. Why don't we ever talk about Africans and Black Britons? I don't really understand. Well, Marcus, we can talk about them sometimes, but today we're focusing on, yeah, but we say sometimes, but we never really do. Have you ever heard of Larry Constantine? Have you ever heard of Marcus? I can tell you're going to have a hard time succeeding in life, Marcus. You don't follow the lessons. You're disruptive. So we're going to focus on the lesson we were talking about. We're talking about the one and only Barack Hussein Obama, who's married to the lovely Michelle Obama. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah, it is fantastic. Okay, Ms. Pierce. All right. No problem.
Pass it on, somebody grab the baton, pass it on, 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 somebody grab the baton, pass it on, 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 somebody grab the baton, pass it on, 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 African people are dark and athletic, but also having smart and have presence. You don't believe I prove it to you on record. Exhibit 1, Larry Constantine, a Trinidadian cricketer, exceptional in any league, and helped the West Indies defeat a British team. Exceptional all around and not just in sports. He excelled on the field and in judicial court. His family was mistreated at a hotel. He didn't sit back except to saying, oh well. He took his case before a judge where most blacks fell, and won a case against a system that was old as hell. He was a journalist, broadcaster, studied law. He wrote and published 2 books with friends, CLR. Mr. James, we'll discuss that later, but we see the Africans are well-rounded and major players, so pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. Somebody grab the baton and pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. Somebody grab the baton and pass it on, pass it on.
pass it on. Somebody grab the baton and pass it on. Pass it on, pass it on. African people are smart and scientific. We like to think, analyze, and listen. Investigate to see what keeps life ticking. You don't believe, I'll show you one to be specific. Exhibit 2 is Dr. Mark Richards, a man of many births, talents, and intuition. An African who excels in chemistry and physics. A college lecturer and founder of several businesses that specializes in wireless air sensing. Now that's different, that's real different. But he'll also take a track and remix it. Yeah, that's right, a musical composition. Examining sound and light waves and experiments. Releasing music under the name DJ Chemist. That seems far-fetched and probably over some hills. But he stimulates the mind like a shot to dread. So pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. Somebody grab the baton and pass it on. Pass it on, pass it on. Somebody grab the baton and pass it on. Pass it on, pass it on. Somebody grab the baton and pass it on. Pass it on, pass it on. Listen, African people are wise with good judgment. Brave, intelligent, artistic, constructive. You don't believe, I'll show you one from the public. Exhibit 3, Dr. John Roberts QC, whose accolades are as deep as the blue seas. He loved planes, so he became a private, as well as an accountant as an RAF private. As if there wasn't enough, he just kept climbing till he reached the Crown Court part-timing. Then he took another step, many thought doubtful. First African appointed to the Queen's Council. His accomplishments are much more than a mouthful. 10 different countries, 10 different bars, but he also plays pianos and guitars. How can one man do so much, go so far? He's the first in many things to inspire all. So pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. Somebody grab the baton and pass it on. Pass it on, pass it on. Somebody grab the baton and pass it on. Pass it on, pass it on. Somebody grab the baton and pass it on. Pass it on, pass it on.
Yeah. Great leaders have blazed trails for us to tread on.
Hey, why you hit me for, man? You keep falling asleep in class, man. Yeah, class is boring, man. Gosh, every time you try to offer something, they never really listen to you. You want to go play football again? Cool. Come on, let's go. Football. All I want to do is play sports. I'm tired of playing sports. That's all I want to do. Marcus, pass me the ball, man. Come on, pass me the ball. I'm Ronaldo, man. Pass me the ball. I'm Messi, man. Come on. No. I'm tired of being white people all the time, man. And who cares about football anyway? It's a stupid game. Yeah, we care about football, Marcus. And Messi's not white, he's Italian anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of millionaires playing football, cooking the ball around, Marcus. And who cares about what you want to do? Airplanes. How are you going to do that? What are you, Einstein or something? And who's going to pay for that? Black people don't fly airplanes. They can't afford to. And imagine him. You can barely even kick a football on an airplane on a runway. Look at him trying to take off. You can't even kick a football, man. I would never try a flight with you. Shut up, man. That's why your mother's fat. Yeah? Real fat. Your mother's fat. Yeah, my mom is fat because she cooks good. Is that why you're so skinny? Because your mom don't know how to cook? Go home and eat your mother's nasty food then.
There's nothing like seeing your dreams come true and owning something like your own business. You know? You can do that. Just believe.
Hold this life's for you. Your dreams will make you new. Just reach and pull them through. Hold us just like honeydew. Hold this life's for you. Your dreams will make you new. Just reach and pull them through. Hold us just like honeydew. Contrary to popular myth, from the beginning of time, Africans have been rich. But over time, much of our wealth has been stripped. So we've become dependent on systems that are fixed, not our innate ability or deep business sense. So many stand by just looking for handouts, when the truth is, all of us stand out. We all should own land, cars, a grand house, be a boss of sorts with business accounts. From the thoughts that we have, ideas on the couch, observing our communities and seeing what we need, then striving to provide so everyone fulfills dreams. We come from kings and queens that were so resourceful. It's time to implement everything they taught you. To get the checks, push your legs with respect. This is you, nothing less than a life living blessed. Hold this life's for you. Your dreams will make you new. Just reach and pull them through. Cause on the shit's like honeydew. Hey, hold this life's for you. Your dreams will make you new. Just reach and pull them through. Cause on the shit's like honeydew. Dudley, Dryden, and Lynn Dyke understood the powerful resources of the African hoods, the wealth of African goods to African communities, seeing what was lacking as a prime opportunity. Beauty and hair supplies unavailable, usually hard to find by the British black market, and fresh Caribbean music became their main targets. They harnessed demands and combined them both, creating a synergy that resulted in growth. One part remained to realizing their hopes. That's Tony Wade, the last part to the trio, which made the partnership somewhat of a superhero. Three minds combined and millionaires to this day. We're not going astray, we're acting on intuition. Ideas are having community business ventures, millionaires who obey their business senses. So hold this life's for you. Your dreams will make you new. Just reach and pull them through. All the shit's like, how many got dreams out here? Hold this life's for you. Anybody got a dream? Dreams will make you new. That's what's gonna make you new is your dream. That's what's gonna make you new is your dream. Listen, what are you worth? Your dreams will coach you. Just ask Alexander Ramosu. He upgraded ringtones to R&B from old school. A millionaire that had vision and soul too. It's so true, even if you flip it beat. Just keep your eyes on the eyes of being in the seat of a CEO. Just stand tall and reach. Just ask a man who had business fever. He goes by the name Henry Athia. He went from serving people they value meals to owning that McDonald's, the building and the till. Ask him and he'll tell you it's real. Africans are intelligent and blessed with skills. So what's your story? They all can vary. With God in your heart, you don't need no fairy. Are you the next Spike Lee? Oprah, Tyler Perry? Hold this life's for you. Your dreams will make you know. If you got a dream, just put your hand up like that. Pull them through. Okay, so that's about 30%. That's alright. Hold this life's for you. Your dreams will make you new. Just reach and pull them through. Own the shit's like honeydew. Yeah. It's your dream that makes you new. Yeah. Just reach and pull them through. Cause own the shit's like honeydew. Yeah. Hey yo, hold this life's for you. Your dreams will make you new. Just reach and pull them through. Cause own the shit's like honeydew. I'm Marcus. What's wrong? You don't seem too happy. Well, Mom, today was a bit challenging. My teacher told me that she could tell I wasn't going to be much of a success in life because I don't follow the lessons. But class is boring, Mom. And all the books that Dad's been giving me, they don't say the same things as the books they give us at school. They talk about the same thing in those books all the time. It's a bit boring. Well, Marcus, perhaps it's time you start doing some studying on your own, outside of school, outside of class. What do you love, Marcus? What inspires you? Marcus Quincy King, my beautiful son. I couldn't help but overhear you and your mother's conversation. Come over here, son. Let's have a conversation about your dream. You see, Marcus, your dreams are the result of your desires and your challenges coming face to face in battle. And the one that wins is the one that's going to determine the course of your life. You see, Marcus, your mother and I, we named you after some very prominent, brilliant, influential Africans whose desires overcame and won those battles. See, we knew you would face similar battles, son. And we knew that if we gave you the right tools through education, that you would discover the champion within you. So Marcus, Quincy, King, your dream is telling you it's time for you to start listening to your heart. Your desires are what make you unique, Marcus. It's time for you to embrace them and become the champion you are. You're right, Dad. It's challenging. I am different. But I believe I can do it. You can, son. Now go get cleaned up. We're gonna eat. Champions need fuel. All right?
This one goes out to all the scholars in the building who want to do something with their life. If you want it, you can do it. Be a scholar, be a student, baby. Yeah, be a scholar, be a student. If you want it, you can do it. Be a scholar, be a student. I see a couple students in the building. It's so good to see y'all. Be a scholar, be a student. Nothing's impossible to the man who believes in knowledge is power. Wise boys become kings, as well as wise girls born poor become queens. The transition begins when they start to read, becoming aware, knowing histories of human beings. I triumphs and failures and everything in between. Sharpening the mind as a tool that exceeds past shortcomings of those who would lead us into a hopeful future, a new horizon, new discoveries, new thoughts, and new surprises. It's so exciting to see what you can become by reading books and breaking knowledge into crumbs, digesting and applying it to everything that's done. You turn those ideas into ways to make funds, make the most of life, your days under the sun. Be a scholar who gets top dollars, learning is fun. You want it, you can do it. Be a scholar, be a student, baby. Can I get some crowd participation if you feel that a little bit? If you want to be a scholar, if you know somebody that should be a scholar, can do it. Be a scholar, be a student. You can clap too, that sounds good as well. Be a scholar, be a student. C.L.R. James is a prime example of a a sharp mind shining like the light of a candle. In a city knew the light, so the people scramble, not understanding what they see or how to handle. Such a great mind and a critical thinker who masters politics and sports as a teacher, publishing revered books and magazine features, as well as being an activist and a speaker, a justice seeker for Caribbean independence, a playwright who staged a West End hit, a Trinidadian sports fanatic, and a journalist. His mind definitely had to be one of the furthest places on earth to ever house thoughts. An influential man whenever you heard him talk. Big shoes to fill and even further to walk. In his life as a forefather, devout scholar. If you want it, you can do it. Be a scholar, be a student, baby. Yeah, be a scholar, be a student. If you want it, you can do it. Be a scholar, be a student, baby. Be a scholar, be a student. Imhotep's a scholar as well as Dr. Roberts. Dyke Drive and Wade, all three with top dollars. Alex Amosu as well with his products. And Henry Afia, he's a living black genius. And Dr. Mark Richards, they all African leaders, divine creatures. One thing they lives should teach us is that the African mind's a beautiful tool that can carve paradise from a rock like jewels. It's nothing we should waste, but what we should all use. And when we start our lives, can improve. If we take initiative, believe and move, in due time, we can have what we choose. The fact I flip flows with facts the kid knows and hopes that kids clone. The facts that hit home is proof alone of my scholarly instinct. And beyond the scope of what many feel rappers think, but I'm a scholar too. Be a scholar, be a student, baby. How many students we got in the building? How many scholars we got? You forever learning in life. If you stop learning, you're dead. Yeah. Be a scholar, be a student. If you want it, you can do it. Be a scholar, be a student, baby. If you want it, you can do it. Be a scholar, be a student. If you want it, you can do it. Be a scholar, be a student. I want to just say thank you to everybody that came out. We finished there. That is the end. That is the last scene. Thank you so much for coming out. Autumn, you can raise the lights, bro. Woo! So I just explained a little bit about what you just saw, what's going to happen next. So the songs that I just performed were from a project called Did You Know?, which was facilitated by this gentleman here, whose name is called Kwaku. He runs a couple of different organizations, but I met him a good few years ago, and through the course of our relationship as it developed, I was a songwriter already at the time, and he said, made a proposal, if I give you some content, can you make some songs out of it? And so I said, cool, yeah, let's do that. And so this is the result of that proposal. And so the songs have been done for quite a while, a few years now. And I just felt like they needed a proper platform to be shared with people. So I've been exploring different ideas of how to share it, because as you would have heard in the music, it's not particularly commercially viable. Yeah? Maybe if I switched up a few things and changed the scenery, maybe that would be different. But that's not what this is particularly about. So it's quite informative. There's a lot of information going on in this. So yeah, I thought this would be a good place to explore presenting that information. So yeah, so Kwaku's going to facilitate a Q&A about what you heard, what you experienced, and we're going to take the feedback, go away with it, digest it, and just appreciate all of you guys coming out. In fact, if we can just get a round of applause for yourselves for taking the time to come out.
Well, once again, good evening. Thanks for coming. Oh, I thought there were some people in the room. Once again, good evening. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Very much. Can we give a round of applause to Kimber? You should come and have your official bow. You haven't done that. Okay, what time, please? I should have a watch. We've got a nice big watch, so you can tell the time. And the lights as well. 10 past? Great. Anecdotes, let me tell you something, and obviously it's going to go above the heads of these youngsters here. In the 70s, I bought my first digital watch. I bought it at Tandy and it cost me £14. That was a lot of money. But it was a red LED. And the idea they had a watch that could tell the date and everything, like a stopwatch, I couldn't help flicking through it. Today it's so passé. £14 for just a watch. Tandy, anybody remember Tandy shops?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. So I met Kimber last week and I was saying, do you remember that this project was 2010 and you couldn't believe it? We couldn't believe it either, but because we did a CD and it says 2010, it must have been 2010, which is 8 years old. Amazing. First of all, thank you for coming. Obviously, there are a few people I know here, so I know why they are here, but there are a few new faces. For example, I'm going to pick this lady, and I think, is that your child?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you brought a child. Tell us, how did you end up here? Because I don't think we've met before, have we?
No, Kimber invited me.
Glad you brought your child, you know, and she's been great. She's been great. Okay, so, it's a he, I'm sorry. That reminds me, by the way, my wife is in the audience. I went to some gathering with my wife, and we met this chap, and I think she just come freshly from Ghana. So there was this young person, and I think either he had a plaque, so I think he was a girl because of the plaque. So yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, welcome. Thank you very much. So my name is Kwaku. We're part of a project called BTWSE, Beyond the Will Smith Challenge. If you want to get the background, my wife is in the audience, ask her, that's her job. Yeah, because I mean, people always ask what does BTWSE stand for, and I always push them towards my wife. Yeah, it wasn't just about what was happening on stage, but it was also the Q&A, because it's music and history. As Kimber said, in 2010, there are a few people from Harrow. We've been doing African history, but we don't do Black History Month, we do African history. Not even month, we do a season, African history season, including this lady, come all the way. She's got mobility issues and she's come all the way from Harrow to be here. So thank you. Absolutely. So for our African History Month project in Harrow 2010, we did something called Africa, Did You Know? Or African History, something like African History, Did You Know? So, and the reason why you hear the same names is that there was a remake to it. This is a project we did, a separate project. This was a Heritage Lottery funded project called NAM, which stands for Naming and Role Models. They didn't want the naming bit, so we left that out, but we kept the name because the acronym sounded good, and we focused on role models. So all the names, so most of the names that you heard came from this document. So we're looking at, let me read the document in here. It says NAM, Naming and Role Model, highlighting African British male role models, 1907 to 2007. Almost 100 years of African male role models. And what we did was that we went to the community, ask people who would you nominate as role models, but we were mindful that it wasn't going to be the same thing, which is usually celebrities or footballers, sports people, and musicians. I have nothing against them, and as you hear, if you get a DVD, one of the interviews says, yeah, you can have role models who are celebrities, but it's just that there's over, what should I say, what's the word, over-reliance on them as our role models in the papers. And at the time that we did that, there was this narrative, particularly in the African journals, which is essentially The Voice, that there are dysfunctional families and no African males in the families and that, right? And no African male role models. So we thought we wanted to show that they came in different, what should I say, configurations. One of the role models that I was very impressed, and these were nominated by people from the community, was a maths teacher in Nisi. And I was glad that some people said their role models were their parents, their teachers and staff. So before I forget, I have to give some respect to a few people I have in here, then we can get into the session. There are a couple of, well, I think one role model and some people representing some of the role models in here, right? So, Dr. Mark Richards, can you give it up for Dr. Mark Richards, sir? Probably heard the tracks for the first time, but Kimber talked about a DJ chemist. Not only is he a scientist, but he's also a DJ, so he knows his way around the turntable decks and stuff like that. And also looking in the room, I definitely have Tony Roberts. Again, one of the guys highlighted was Dr. Robert QC. I believe he was the first African to have an African-owned chambers in, the law firms. They're around Holborn, the Strand, and he had some chambers in there. And he was called to 10 different bars. So UK, across the Caribbean, and I'm sure parts of Africa. So that was fantastic. His son Tony, so you can give it up for Tony. Yeah, and I think there's one other family member. I'm sure it's not just Tony, am I? Who else am I lost? Okay, I've got Tony, I've got my creatures. Who else if I'm lost? Okay, now also I want to give out for Mr. Andrew Mohammed, Brother Mohammed. To be honest, I'm honored that everyone is here, but I know my brother Andrew Mohammed is very busy, and he's been honoring us in the last few events that we've had, and he's actually been also working with Kimber. So this is not just about our projects, but getting the idea to a wider audience. So Mr. Andrew Mohammed has been working with Kimber, and he works with young people. And I might be boring, but if Andrew was here, you all be in laughter because he's got a fantastic way with men, but also with people. Particularly young people as well. He can tell you about the sing, and he can tell you about the iPad, but he's not going to do that now. Go on YouTube and find out his videos, and you get the explanation of sing and iPad. Or maybe quickly, no, sing was the new one. So just tell them, what does sing mean?
SIM is just the base of my company. Success, identity, and motivation. That's how you get to connect with your inner self with that outer self.
Fantastic, fantastic. I saw a recent interview, Kush TV, I think it is. So Kush.
I don't want for Kush TV, but
yeah. No, that was fantastic. So just Google him, Andrew Mohammed. And I know you said you may have to leave early. So one word. So it's obviously this is the first time for seeing this sort of dramatization of the music. But I do hope that you have the DVD, and I'm not sure if you heard the music because we didn't really promote the music widely. Have you heard any of the songs previously?
I have heard the music because I think you did supply me with a copy of the CD.
Okay.
Not only that, if you remember years ago, I asked for the acapella because I'm a remix man. I like to mix up things.
Yes.
And I did actually produce a remix of that particular one of the tracks.
Yes.
And one time we'll maybe link up and
absolutely
exchange ideas. So I'm really pleased that it's still got life. I think it is about edutainment, it's education, it's entertainment, and unfortunately, even though that was nearly 10 years ago, the message is still just as relevant today. So I commend you for still continuing with the project.
Thank you very much. You see, we do things run by passion because if we're going to look at how we survive economically, it doesn't make sense. Even when you get funding, it says heritage lottery, and you think you've got some big money, it's not economically sustainable. You spend more than that. But because we're doing by passion, it's not like we've done one and that's the end of the project. If there's a way to move over, we do. So I'm glad you realized that. So yeah, fantastic. I think, Tony, I want you to say something because you heard your dad's name. In fact, we've got a track called Dr. Roberts QC, and we've got another track called CLR James. So it was part of the recording session. So sometime we might put that online. So I want you to make a point, a response, because you heard your dad's name being mentioned a couple of times tonight.
Thank you. First of all, I must thank you for inviting me this evening. My father is mentioned a lot of places, but when it's my people doing it, it makes me proud. As you might have heard, I didn't realize this, that you're going to sing about him, so that was good. I must get the track. But he did a lot for people, not just black people, but people in general. He was a people person. And to that end, I'm going to be setting up a charity should have been done already, should have been done last year, but things went on, which is really focusing on education, because that's what he focused on. And I know we have this relatively new word, edutainment, but people like my father have been, law was his 5th profession. Education meant a lot to him. And as I was growing up, he said to me that what's important is not necessarily, what you want to do in life, but do the best you can. Get the best education you can, and then the world is your oyster. And I think that's what we need to tell some of our youngsters, and people like Andrew, and I know do that type of thing, is that education's important, not necessarily, at the time, you might think it's a waste of time, but what it can do in the future, whether it's, an apprenticeship, whether it's a degree, or I say to people, I remember when I did my degree, I had some letters after my name. I never used them. That wasn't why I studied. But then when I was going for my mortgage, my first house, the bank manager said, put those letters after your name, because if you don't, you won't get a mortgage. Wow. At least we know that if you don't continue in law, you'll get a good job. So then I realized those letters were important. So all I can say is thank you very much once again, and I wish you all the best for the project.
Thank you very much. Okay, in Harrow, we've had a succession of young people and families that have been really supporting our projects. People do move on, some people in fact move on to Andrew's program. In recent times, we've had these 2 youngsters, and I'm really glad that on a weekday, school day, the parents made an effort. They don't live in this borough to come down with their 2 children, Taylor and Jordan. So before we start, I'm going to pick on them. So I'm going to give you, I'm giving you a head start to think about a feedback, a response to what you've seen today. All this is new to you, just as it is to most people in here. Yeah, so I'm coming to both of you. Before, I'm not even looking at the parents. Okay. Right, and Kimber just whispered in my ear that he also has to talk something there. Then we'll move on to the wider audience. So, first of all, your name, and at this time, it's comfortable to talk about age. We don't usually, when we get to a certain age, you don't talk about age. But now, your name and your age and any response to what you've seen. No, have the microphone.
I'm Jada.
Maybe you can stand so we can see. Stand to the, come up. Stand to the audience and speak to them.
I'm Jada and I'm 11, and today I really liked how there was a lot of education in your performance, but it was also really entertaining, so I really liked how you had the mix of both.
I need to get you on camera first. I know there's a professional. That's our professional photographer, but I always have to have something to remember this evening. There we go. Fantastic. In fact, before Jordan comes on, I have to tell you something, right? We did a project at City Hall in November. It was called Commemorating the African Jubilee Year 1987 to 88 at 30. And there was a poem that we done. We did a book called African Voices, quotations by people of African descent, and I think that was also released in 2010. We launched at the House of Commons, and we put in a poem in that book. So we thought, let's have some young people read that poem at our event. So there I was, I printed out, thinking I was going to give it to them, and I was so impressed that they sorted all out. They knew who was going to read what, and in fact, the parents were surprised. You didn't know they'd done that. So that I was impressed by their independent stance and just taking it seriously. So what I printed was of no value because they had sorted themselves out before coming. Okay, Jordan.
I really enjoyed today's performance because every time I come home from school I listen to music. My favourite academic subject at school is history, so I love how you get your message across in your music and you can learn so much from music, so that was really inspiring. Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
I was just going to say, be honest. That's all. I was going to.
Well, they were. So
yeah, well, no, to the adults as well.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Because
We need the feedback.
Yeah, and it's, again, this is explorative, so yeah, just be honest, please.
Yeah. Because this is the first time we've done it, and should this go fair, they can say, oh, I remember when it was done for the first time. And another anecdote, there is a pub in Islington. I don't know if, what's his name? Des might know it. But I believe that the first gig, you know you two are Irish. Yeah. So the first gig they did in Britain, the mainland, was in this pub in Islington. And from what I hear, about 8 people was in the audience. So what head of you two? Wouldn't it be great if you're part of that audience to say, oh yeah, that's YouTube playing to thousands of people at Wembley Stadium. I saw them with just 8 other people. So you can, if this develops, you can say, I remember coming on the cold, what month is this, January month, to see this performance. So now I'm happy for any questions or comments, because this is part of it. Because I had someone say, oh, is it over? No, it's not over. The discussions are part of the program. Yeah. So any comments or questions? Or also I pick on people I know.
Obviously, I missed the presentation, but will it be available to view online?
That's a good question. It was recorded.
I'm doing the job. Yeah.
Take a look at the recording and see what it looks like, but potentially.
That's all I want to say.
Okay, in case you don't know, that's Jay Hazel. He's also a rap artist. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we've got this stuff, and we think of maybe put it together. Oh, I need to explain. All this is put under the context of something called Music for Courses. The courses is CAUSE. Because the idea is that we're very passionate about certain courses. For example, fair trade. Actually, my wife is most passionate about it. So we've done songs, and Kimber has done a song on fair trade, because fair trade on the face of it is boring. So to think they can align that with hip-hop, fantastic. I remember when Pastor Names used to sponsor something called the Peace Week. That was in September, many years ago. We did a song on peace. Fantastic. We're big into recycling and littering and stuff. We've done songs on littering. What the songs? What is it?
Not songs on littering, songs on the environment.
The environment, but I mean the kids is littering. What's it? What was the one we did?
Recycling.
The titles, Typical on the Positive?
Yeah, Typical on the Positive and stuff like that. So from the programs, we developed some songs that people, it's not just young people, we believe in intergenerational audiences. So Jaheza, I think there was a hand somewhere there. Okay, there's a hand there. Please pass the mic. Thank you.
Good evening, all. I just want to thank you also for the concept. I think I've got to say thank you for the idea. The idea of music and education. First of all, music is a vehicle that is widely used to influence, and as you can see it today in our society from years. And just hearing that young man, growing young man saying it as well, the education is taken from it. So I think the idea, the concept that you have is brilliant, and it's something that needs to be widely spread. So I think, my view was it was more of a comment. I think you need to carry on, just push it as far as you can, and it's an encouragement also. Just keep it going. I think it's a brilliant idea, very very good concept, and again, it's a way to get our kids learning about our history, learning about ourselves, but also giving them as well that platform to be able to elevate to the next levels. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, keep it good, man. Thank you.
That's all. You can pass the mic to Andrew. I'm very interested to see what you say. He works a lot with young people. So
Greetings, kwaku. And again, I want to just echo the audience's to me. Today was fantastic. It's awesome. I'd like to really thank yourself, your wife, and your team for allowing this job to go to various different audiences, various different venues. I've been following you all over, and you've been never typecast. You're going to different areas that take the struggle to different avenues. That's great. Just one or two quick points regarding today, brother. One is there a plan to do this type of performance as a tour in schools? Because I think it's absolutely fundamental. I don't know if there's a plan, and maybe if there's funding, or maybe we get funding, or maybe we just charge the schools. But I think this is fundamental, because I have schools that come up to me and say, you know, how do we engage more? I have a curriculum that engage more with our young people. This is the perfect way, in my view. Secondly, in terms of the tracks, Kimber, a part of me prefers to be done, something to be done on an a cappella basis, or because I think there was backing voices, and I think sometimes your voice is so powerful, so clear. Sometimes I think would it be better just to have your voice at times as opposed to a backing voice behind you, because I think that's what delivers you. Because one thing about your performance is not just the information you give, but you have a very sincere energy. I think that will come across even more if we can hear your voice as the number one voice. Thank you.
Question about schools, that was the idea we had, and Kimber is very passionate about that. That's why I'm glad to know that at least he's been working with you. And so we can talk about that because I know you've been doing schools for a long time, so we're happy to work in collaboration with you into the schools because that's what people
Can I just say this
yeah.
very quickly? No, keep the mic. But I'm already just watching it today. I've got several schools that I know we can keep the secret. That's very
That is the dream, so that's fantastic. And interesting enough, I mean, Kimber has been talking about doing more a cappella. I like the tracks because I think the notions that I came up, I used in another life, I was very active as a journalist. So we came up in days of gangster rap, and what we forget is that rap is a broad church. So you go from the conscious or so-called novelty to the far end of what should I say, gangster. So I focus on more of the conscious stuff. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this. Yeah, so anyway, basically, yeah. So I like the music. So I know what I want to say. So the point is that I wanted to disabuse people's minds of rap just being gangster or negative or not having an empowering attribute. So hearing people talk about something as mundane as fly tipping, and you'll be nodding your head and getting to it. Okay, I'm not the fly tipping, that just sounds good. That's the idea. But nevertheless, Kimber himself has expressed this idea of trying to do a cappella. So it will be a mixture. But you make another valid point. I don't know if anyone's told you that, Kimber, the point about maybe you singing over your voice. So that's something definitely we'll take to heart. Fantastic. But this gentleman, we've met before you. Okay. Nice to see you.
How are you doing?
Okay.
Hi, my name is Vernon. I'm from Namibia, which is just next to South Africa. Just on what this gentleman asked about whether you guys will be pushing this into sort of a program for schools and stuff. If that happens, what's the possibility of you guys having a sort of online training program where it's a sort of edutainment? I'm from South Africa, I'm from Namibia. I've never learned more about Africa outside of Africa. So how we was educated in school was nothing to do with Africa, Africa's real history, or anything to do with sort of a black global, leaders. Today still in our schools, our kids does not get taught anything about any sort of black leaders apart from like in your performance is Barack Obama. Or maybe one or two other guys that is sort of more popular than what they are actually influential in sort of the black liberation movements, especially in Africa itself. So if you guys are going to explore any sort of online training programs that can be sort of pushed through schools also back home, or even through sort of library services, little community library services, I'd be interested to sort of hear about that.
Okay, the one next gentleman is going. Thank you. It's been recorded. Definitely take down, boy. It's been recorded.
Okay, a couple of points.
You have to say who you are first.
My name's Rodney. I met Kimber once before and I was taken by him and we established a WhatsApp friendship. Obviously I know this gentleman here, Andrew Mahab is one of my mentors from when I was a young boy. Anyway, like I said, a couple of things. First of all, you touched on the music thing, you know I'm into music. Some bongo drums, percussionist, I think you'll kill it on the acapella. We're talking about Africa here.
Yeah.
You understand? So some bongo drums, some percussionists, some cymbals. You have to understand to go with that. My thing is schools and children and our children. mainly our boys. We all seem to look after our girls. There is more problems with our girls of late, but historically I think we look after our boys. We go, first of all, I've just left the school because I couldn't afford to stay there anymore. I'm a behaviour specialist, and I'm the head of a family. Taking home £800 a month wasn't working for my wife, you know, especially when I used to take home that a week time, and to take home that a month time. I did it for a year and a half. It's put us in a massive debt, massive problem, and I had to leave. But to be fair, teachers are underpaid first of all, and they haven't got the tools. But that aside, I think I saw some of what you did today. They didn't just educate everybody in this room. It will educate teachers. When you turn around to the and the boy said, but miss, you only told me about this. Teachers need to hear that. I would love to be in the school that I just left and watch that moment and turn around and look at the teachers, because they have nowhere to go. And I beg you to do this. Black History Month, Deo, Here I Come, that's all they're singing last year. Give it to an Irish teacher. I'm in there with my dreadlocks and my reggae music every morning, and they give it to a teacher from Ireland, and then she's coming to me, what West Indian songs shall we sing? My sister, who's very close to Andrew as well, furious, head of Lloyd's TSB had a big falling out with their staff this year. Black people refused to attend because, again, they didn't involve black people in this. And you have to get in school, because the school I come from, it was Downsville Primary in Leighton. I've had to walk away from them, and it's been quite acrimonious. But tomorrow I'm going to have to get in contact with them because they need to see me.
Thank you. I should be African British female movers and shakers, and I'll make sure you get that as well. So that's why I'll give to Lorraine, because Lorraine is the one I communicate with. Right. So we did. Yeah, you're welcome. We did, and let me tell you, another time we did a project called "What They Said I Should Be." African British female movers and shakers. First of all, one of the people highlighted was the former Attorney General. Can you tell me the only female Attorney General in the 700 years of the Attorney General office? Anybody know the name?
Patricia Scotland.
Patricia Scotland. So there we are. I write to her or her office and say, we'd like to interview her for this project. And then the PA phones one day, my wife was there, and she said, you do realize she's not African? And I said, if she's of African heritage, she's African. Yeah. She did it. So, people got different views, but we have to tell you where we come from. We say everyone of African heritage is African, full stop. Yeah. Now, African origin is different. We are one race, the human race, I understand that. And I also posit that everyone is of African origin. But we're not all of African heritage as we stand now. This is African heritage, that's European heritage, there may be an Asian heritage somewhere. So we have evolved differently, but we focus very much on African and also African British. The reason being that we know a lot about America, we know a bit about Jamaica, the Caribbean, but we seldom know about here. My man talked about Paul Stevenson. How many people have heard of Paul Stevenson? Someone, you had your hand up. Tell me who's Paul Stevenson.
No, I've heard the name.
Oh, but you know. Okay, this is the prize goes, there's a prize. Anyone who can confidently tell me who Paul Stevenson is. Raise your hand and be confident. That's the name that was mentioned. Okay, no problem. You're not going to get this, but you know what you will get? I find out that when we do things, people are excited by a simple thing like an email, and the energy level goes down. If you're interested, right, the e-version of this book, if you email us, you can give the email version, you can read about Paul Stevenson and all that Kimber mentioned, yeah? But you have to email us, you can get an email if you want. But yeah, you're not going to get a prize, but go ahead. And name, so we know who you are.
Okay, but my name's Kwesi Johnson. I just wanted to ask, what informed your choice to play more than one part? And what informed your choice about how long did it take you to integrate the theatre with the
That's an interesting question coming from this man, because he's actually the individual that introduced me to theatrical performance. So I'm not sure.
Performance in this building?
No. Theater in general as a performer.
Yeah.
Not as someone watching, a spectator. So Kwesi, when was that we did the project that we worked on?
2010.
So, wow. 9 years ago, same time for the project, I did my first theater project with Kwesi. He was running a project, a company called Company Malachi. And so he recruited about 6 rappers and poets to do something called Forum Theater. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Forum Theater, but basically what it does is it's theater that allows the audience to participate in what's happening on stage. So at some point you get an opportunity to try and change the narrative of what happens on stage. And as performers of our discipline, being rapping, at that time freestyle is so, I don't know if you guys know about freestyle rap, anybody know about freestyle? So basically you impromptu respond to something somebody says to you, rapping it just in the moment. So he combined that with theater. And for me, that was an amazing idea. I've never seen that before. Have any of you guys seen that before? I mean, number one, Forum Theater, I'd never seen that before, where the audience comes on stage. That was a whole, and then he introduced freestyle rap and poetry to it. That was a whole nother animal. So during the process of that project, it was twisting my head, my brain's all over the place. It was like Inception. I was trying to figure out, what is this? Never having done theater before, done music obviously, but being introduced to that world. When I left that project, I couldn't leave that project. So that project has been with me for 9 years. And so when I started to think about this project that we've done, I thought, you know what? I think this could be viable in a different format. Yeah? That's what I think, because it's not commercial. It's not commercial, but it does deserve to live. You know what I mean? So I said, let me mention it to Kwaku and explore that. So in terms of writing this piece, I think probably 4 to 5 months to really flesh it out. The ideas were running around for a while, but to take it on as a one-person project, I just felt it was probably the easiest thing to do, because I felt like I understood the content. I could a little bit weave characters into it, but still allow the music to be kind of the focal point, but weave in and out of it character-wise. So I hope I answered the question.
Fantastic. Okay, in case you're wondering what this is, in fact, Andrew, I won't give you this. I've got just a few copies of this. This is supposed to be Global African Quad Flag. Quad because it's got 4 colors. What it does is that it merges the 3 Pan-African colors. So quickly, can someone tell me what the one version of the Pan-African color is? So it will be 3 colors. Come on, any Pan-Africanists? Okay, let's not talk about each other. Who's answering over there? Who's answering? Oh, go ahead, Kwesi.
Red, black, and green.
Okay, red, black, and green is the UNIA. In case you don't know, UNIA stands for Universal Negro Improvement Association. That's a Marcus Garvey flag. That was instituted in 1920 at the first Congress in New York, 13th August. They said red, black, and green will be the color for the UNI, and not just the UNI, for Africa, because you know Marcus Garvey was looking at Africa, and it was declared the interim president of Africa at that first conference, 1920. So that's one color. There's another color. So there are 2 sets of Pan-African colors.
Black, green, and gold.
Black, green, and gold. And you know something? You usually, what is the word? I forgot, but I'm very particular about words, right? And with this, I'm a bit lax about it. But you've hit it. There's apparently a difference between gold and yellow. People tend to say yellow, but I'm told the official color is gold. So you have it spot on. So gold, that comes. My dear, thank you very much for supporting us. Yeah, thank you very much for supporting us. So yes, red, gold and green comes from one of the earliest African countries in terms of independence, which is Ethiopia. So in Ghana, you notice we just inverted the way it goes. So ours is red, gold, and green, and theirs is the other way around, green, gold, yeah? So this is a match of those 4 colors. But the sad thing I have to explain, you notice there are 2 black bands in there. Bob Marley. Okay. I need that to go up, then I can continue. Sorry, Mr. Bukari. You're done. I'm saying it's a bit of a shame because, again, we try to be not that democracy is always correct, but sometimes we try to be democratic. So, initially, we just had 1 black band. And then what happened was that some people are different levels, and some people felt that they're not ready to feel that they're African, and that made their Caribbean. So that jump to really align themselves with Africa was a bit difficult. So there's a compromise in which you've got the 2 bands to say it doesn't matter whether you're African from the diaspora, mainly from the Caribbean, or African from the continent. Yeah. But ideally, we really have to move towards one color. Don't you agree? Yes. And the reason being that we are in something called the International Decade for People of African Descent. Who's heard of this thing? Great, fantastic. A UN thing that started in 2014, 15, and then it's in 2024. And hardly any of us have heard about it because they don't put money into it to promote it. Countries are supposed to do it, and Britain certainly has not been interested. So it's been left to organizations like ourselves, an organization called ICPAD UK Coalition. So I feel I should give one of these out. So I'll pick on you. This gentleman, what's your name?
Me, Eric.
Eric, I met you downstairs?
Yes.
Are you Kimber's? Okay. Right. Name me one person that Kimber named in the song. Just one person. How easy can it be? So, no, please. It's this is Eric's question, and it's what happened.
Tony Roberts.
You tried. There's a wrong first name. You know what you should have done? You should have said Mr. Roberts or Dr. Roberts.
Dr. Roberts.
Okay.
I'll bite. Is it?
Yeah, we do £5, but don't worry about it. So, can you give a round of applause?
I'm a mate.
What did you say?
I said I'm a mate of his.
Yeah, okay. Man, I appreciate you for staying as long as you can, but he did say that he has to leave early. So can you give a round of applause for Right. Sometimes, again, I'm not sure about democracy always. This gender thing, it works sometimes, but sometimes like, you must have a woman or something. Sometimes yes, but anyway, I just feel I'm going to give this to women. So I need a question, and let's see if they can impress me. Because I'm bad, because I once went on an EasyJet flight, and the pilot said, there's nothing like a free lunch. You have to pay for your lunch on those flights. He said, there's nothing like a free lunch. So there are a few ladies in here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So it's for any lady in here. There's a question, and please don't talk over each other because I want to give to one person who's got the right answer. I did ask who was the only female attorney general. So if you know the answer. No, you see, This always happens. So maybe I didn't explain it very okay. What's going to happen is this. No, it doesn't work that way. But I'm glad at least we got laughter in the evening. On the cold January day, I'm glad there's laughter in the room. That's fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to reset the rule. If you know the answer, you raise your hand. If you're the first person I ask you if you have the right answer, it goes to you. So we're going to start again, right? So it's not, I said not talking about each other, you just raise your hand and you pick. Maybe I didn't say that bit to understand. Okay, so
I know what you meant.
Who was or is the only female Attorney General of the UK. This lady raised her hand, and then you had a second. So let's hope she doesn't get it.
Yeah, Patricia Scotland.
Pardon?
Patricia Scotland.
Absolutely. I'm sorry to get Okay, I think, can we just have a couple of moments? Is there any questions or comments that you want to make? The person Evans coming here? I think Kimber chose the right venue because initially I was looking at another venue, but I think there's a bit of
Kimber's rubbish football question.
Well, man, that's why, yeah, he was dissing the football.
He thought Messi was Spanish and Ronaldo is Portuguese.
Well,
Argentinian.
Well, I'm another male that does not understand football, doesn't bother with football. World Cup doesn't impress me. So anyway,
it actually worked. It actually worked.
It was meant to be that way.
That's what I said. It worked. That's what I said.
So he's showing his ignorance about the football in the sketch. Okay. Right. So I have a question of comment today because you've made the effort to come here because we're wrapping up soon. Any question now? Anybody? No? Well, that's fine. Look, I have to thank you for doing this. I mean, for making an effort to come in here. All I'll say is that if you want the e-version of the book, obviously with this, we can only interview people who are alive because you can't, you know, but our project goes by 100 years, but it's only people who are alive that are on here. So I think it's about 30 or 60 people, I don't remember. But in the book, yeah, okay, in the book, obviously we've got lots of people going back to Samuel Crowe Taylor, who died in 1912 and stuff like that. So if you want to, maybe our email address is orels, is BTWSC, that's organization, BTWSC. Just remember, Beyond the Will Smith Challenge is the acronym, Beyond the Will Smith Challenge @hotmail.com. You also just email, I'll send you an electronic version of the book. But Kimber wants to say something.
Yeah, just quickly, guys, we probably only got about 5 minutes, but I wanted to take away 3 suggestions, if I could, to improve what you saw today. So briefly, if we get 3 people, 3 hands, 3 hands, 3 hands, 3 hands, 1. Who's the second? 2. The third? Third hand?
That's one here.
Okay, so 3. So can we start with you, Jay? So what can we do to improve that?
I'm probably not the best person
okay.
Because I wasn't there.
This one will take you.
I just thought that sometimes when you do these events, sometimes people don't know beforehand what's going to happen.
Okay.
And sometimes the lights might be a problem to them.
Okay.
If they've got fits or anything like that.
Okay.
And the lights going around. And I think personally that when you're doing the wrap-up, to me, maybe because I'm older, it's easier to understand and hear without the lights going in and out.
Okay. Yep. No problem. Thank you so much for that. 2?
Yeah, I would say the idea is good, but what I would my suggestion would be is because it felt like you was doing a lot for you by yourself in terms of the changes, the music, all of that. I think the support with that would be phenomenal because it will make it more concentrated on you. Then you can focus really on the delivery of this the project.
Cool. Sweet.
So that's my.
Lovely. Thank you so much. And who's up? Yes.
One quick one. It's not so much a question.
It's okay.
But it is a question in truth. Are you available on the? Are you available on the 11th of February, 2 weeks' time, to come and do a conference with me, which is aimed at getting this into schools? We've got a conference for Brent and Harrow. With all the representatives of all the different schools that are going to be there. Okay. So I just wanted to know if you could join me on that one.
Yeah, I think I want to say yes.
I'll have the last question.
Yes. Hold on. Do you know what? Go ahead, bro, and then we'll come to you and do a wrap up.
Well, I would say, I'll back up the bridge, as an artist myself, in terms of rhythm and, and you doing your thing and let the, the vibe, kind of, get the people, and you.
Yes.
Technical.
As a,
raise the production standard.
We can, you know what I'm saying?
Absolute. Totally. I get it. Yeah.
When I met you, you touched on it today. When I met Kimber did this thing with the kids. He asked them to say any single word, and he freestyled. They said cheeseburger, and Kimber said cheeseburger. And what he was doing as he was talking, the kids, he said, "Put your hands up." So the kids were putting their hands up at first. Afterwards, they were just shouting words out, and he remembered everything. So he went from one phrase into the next phrase of things that he heard shouting. Now you had the child there on the chair, saying to the teacher what he understood and I just felt that you talked about crowd interaction.
Yes,
you could have done the same thing there. His skill at that is incredible, and I think especially when you go into the skits, that got me, and I'm 51, and the kids couldn't believe it, and they just started saying things like gravy, and he just kept, you wouldn't believe what he did with it, and I just think you have to. You cannot do this without showing people that ability. No way.
Okay, so with a show of hands, who want to see me get busy? I grab the microphone like a grizzly. I bear arms. I want you to walk with me and prove to you with the mic I get witty. Throw me a question and watch me just answer it like I had the crow for something cancerous. Go ahead, sis. Don't make
Not
it worse.
necessarily a question, but it's a plea.
Go ahead.
So, my sister Tat and I went to Soul Seekers film screening last night at Tracks and Records, Usain Bolt's restaurant.
Okay.
And I didn't even realize it was a film.
Okay.
I went there and it was about sneaker culture, you know, about the history and it's just resonated so deeply. I think that we need to all kind of get together and really push. It's really important. It's actually really important because kids are dying over sneakers. Do you see what I'm saying? A kid in North London got stabbed over his sneakers. Do you know what I'm saying? And then what you're doing, to merge the importance of this culture with what children identify with now.
Sure.
You know, and obviously with the epidemic or virus of, youth crime, night crime, stuff like that, which is personal to me, you know, and my son's been stabbed, and I've lost my nephew, I've lost so many young people in our lives, you know, and I'm getting emotional, but you know, I just feel like I've got all these ideas, you know, I've got all this passion, and I've got all this faith, and what do I do? My front door is always open, always open. I never actually lock my front door.
It's there, you know, people do care. You know, sometimes it does get lonely, you know, I think that's one thing that we can all probably identify with, you know. But we're here today, and it's a sign that we're not alone. You just have to find the people who are kindred. So I think, today is a great start. I'm encouraged because you guys won't know, but a lot that I've pondered privately has been spoken publicly today.
Wow.
All right, so this was new for me, but I made a decision that it had to be done. Okay, so let me say this too. I'm encouraged, and I feel like you guys are proud of me, but I need to express how proud of you guys that I am, because you could have just did whatever you needed to do and said, you know what, I don't really have time for this. So it's as much an encouragement to me as it is to you guys for me to say, you know what, you know, people do care. But sometimes we can feel like people don't really care. They just go about their business. So continue, you know, however you communicated and got word today, you know, even if it's just a word to say, hey, y'all working on that? Make sure y'all don't drop the ball.
Accountability.
You know, make sure you don't drop, even if it's just that. Or an emoji. Send an emoji with a fist up, you know what I'm saying? That might be enough, you know, so we can continue with the process. And Kwaku, thank you so much for believing in me and encouraging me, because, for sure. I'm really saying right. You know, these people are like family to me now, you know what I mean? They actually believe in you. It's amazing when somebody believes in you, it's crazy. So thank you, and did you want to wrap up?
No, thanks for coming. I'm mindful of time, and we normally like to start and end, as we say, especially this being a weekday, because I want them to come again and say, oh, we'll school there, and we kept them. So lastly, thank you. Anything to reggae, I also wear a reggae hat, BritishBlackMusic.com. We've got a reggae stakeholders meeting tomorrow, a week from tomorrow, February 8th, Wilson Green Library Center. we do something called Reggae International Day, which is, so we're talking about that. And also, Brent has got a big program on reggae for next year, so you can find out what's going on. There's some funding in it as well. So on that note, thank you very much, and have a safe journey back.